What's going on? Well, thanks for tuning in once again. Can Crawford beat Canelo? That's the question. A lot of people are choosing Crawford. For me, it's very hard to pick somebody that's going up in weight challenging a great fighter like Canelo. Canelo, in my opinion, is one of the best defensive fighters out there. He's got great head movement, big puncher. You see him dropping a lot of guys. He hasn't been as good as he used to be, when he was fighting Plant and Saunders. It seems like his legs are starting to fade on him a bit. He's not the finisher that I'm used to seeing, is what I'm saying. You don't really see him finishing guys. Of course, you see him dropping them. The power's definitely there. It's just, is the gas tank there? I think that Crawford's got a better gas tank than Canelo, for sure. I would say that Crawford's got better legs than Canelo, but in terms of power, head movement, better defense, Canelo wins in all those categories. So, I don't even think that Crawford can drop Canelo. I don't think that he can. I've never seen Canelo hit the canvas. Crawford didn't look like the puncher that he is at 154 against Majimov. I know that he did have a great streak in welterweight. I'll be very surprised if he drops Canelo, going up 2 weight divisions. So for me, it's hard to pick Crawford just because I've never seen him fight at super middleweight before. I've never seen him fight at middleweight. I've never seen him fight at 160. I've seen him at 154 and he wasn't too impressive, was he? So, I just don't think that Crawford can beat Canelo in terms of beat him up too much. I think that Canelo's just too defensively blessed, and I think Canelo will be testing Crawford in this fight. The only way that Crawford wins, in my opinion, is on points, and he's going to have to be as good as he was when he fought Spence, where he was landing most of the punches that he was throwing. He's going to have to outwork Canelo, and most importantly, he's going to have to show the judges that he is landing effective punches against Canelo, because if he's not, then it's going to be a very hard fight for him to win in Vegas. Canelo's going to be home favourite for sure. Canelo's going to be crowd favourite for sure. So he's going to have to convincingly beat Canelo. Canelo's the champ, so as I always say, the champ, home favourite, cash cow, he's going to be 2 rounds up, according to the judges. That's just how it is in boxing. A lot of the times, the favourite or the guys that are the cash cow, they get favoured by the judges 2 rounds up. So Crawford's going to have to win at least 8 rounds to win the fight. So I mentioned that Crawford's got better legs and better stamina, better gas tank. That's also questionable because it is in Canelo's weight division, 168. So Crawford's going to really have to show that he can take Canelo's punches. If he's on the back foot, on the ropes like a lot of these guys are, we've seen Charlo run away. We just saw a fight not long ago, Skull on the back foot running away. We've seen Berlanga on the ropes getting knocked down. Most of these fights, Canelo's knocking beating these guys up. He dropped Charlo as well, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think he dropped him. Yeah, he did drop him. And that was, a guy that's heavier than Crawford. Crawford's a guy that was undisputed at 140 and 147. 154 was very questionable. That fight was close against Majimov. The power wasn't there. He wasn't there to finish Madrimov, or Madrimov wasn't in trouble or anything like that. Crawford was, in my opinion, getting hit harder than Madrimov. Madrimov seemed like he had more power than Crawford. What do you think Canelo's going to do? So I mean, I just don't know. I just don't think that. Well, I'll just say I don't know if Crawford can take Canelo's power. Can he move away from Canelo? He probably can. He's got better legs. Can he survive the full 12? He probably can. We've seen Charlo surviving, but he has to come there to win, and I think that he is coming there to win. So I'm expecting him to take risks. I've never seen Crawford badly hurt where the point where I think, wow, he's going to lose the fight, so Crawford's got a chin on him as well, but Canelo is just, better defensively than Crawford. So Crawford, in my opinion, is going to have to really jump in and out of the pocket in this fight. He's going to have to really take risks. He can't just trade with Canelo. He can't just do what he did with Spence, where he's on the ropes and then all of a sudden he's backing him up. I don't think that will happen. So I think that he needs to circle Canelo, and he has to really hurt him, counter, come forward, and jump in and out. Use the leg advantage, leg speed. The stamina, really go for it in those championship rounds, but he has to start fast. He's not really a fast starter. That's another problem with Crawford, is that he takes his time. He tries to figure guys out and then he gets into it. In this fight, he doesn't really have much time to do that because, Canelo is going to be up in the judges' scorecards, so the rounds that he wins needs to be convincing. He needs to win at least 8. So I would say win at least 2 rounds in the first half and then 6 rounds back to back, from round 6 to 12. That's the only way Crawford wins in Vegas, in my opinion. Again, Canelo, big puncher, big left hook, two-handed. Big left hook, big straight right. 2 big punches that could really cause Crawford problems in this fight. And Canelo, when he's coming forward, he can really hurt you to the body. So back-footed and front-footed, Canelo's dangerous counter puncher. And like I say, this is in the welterweight division, so I haven't seen Crawford hurt guys, that's heavier than him, like 154. I never saw Madrimov in trouble. So for that reason, I can't see Crawford winning this fight because I haven't seen him fight at a heavier weight. I just think that Canelo is going to be too much for him, and I just think that he's going to cause him problems. I think that his power is going to be the big game changer, and I don't think that he's going to be able to push him around like he wants to, like he did Spence, where you can just see Crawford's the stronger guy. In this fight, I think that Canelo's going to be the stronger guy. But hey, I've never seen him at 168. He may surprise me, but I just don't understand how it's such a evenly matched fight where people are choosing Crawford to win. 40% chance for him to win. In my opinion, that's quite a bit too high. It's a big ask. Crawford's not undisputed champ at 154. He struggled against Madrimov, in my opinion. It was a close fight. I'm just favouring Canelo in this fight. I think that he beats him on points. I think Crawford does survive, but if he takes risks, he may get caught and may possibly lose by KO. But I'm going Canelo by decision. That's my take. Leave yours, and I look forward to the comments. Peace.